mocked me in front of the whole family when I told them I was pregnant. Then my little cousin accidentally exposed the biggest family secret. I'm adopted. I've always known. My parents told me when I was 5. They had a little picture book they made with pictures of me as a baby coming home. My mom is Colombian, my dad is Irish, I'm blonde and pale and 6 feet tall, and I've never looked like either of them, and they've always been open about it. I was chosen. That was the family line. I'm 31. I got married to my husband Theron 2 years ago. We'd been trying for a baby since the honeymoon. Last February, 2 pink lines. I cried on the bathroom floor. Theron cried on the bathroom floor with me. We were a puddle. I called my mom. She was quiet. She said, oh, honey, not congratulations, not I love you, just oh. I called my older sister Paloma next. Paloma is my parents' biological daughter, born 3 years after they adopted me. Paloma said, are you going to keep it? I laughed. I said, of course I'm going to keep it. Why would you ask that? She said, I have to go. I'm at spin class. She hung up. Over the next week, my mom stopped calling back. My dad, who usually texted me photos of random birds he saw in the yard, went silent. Paloma unfollowed Theron on Instagram. I thought maybe I'd imagined it. Theron said I was being paranoid. Pregnancy hormones. I wanted to believe him. 3 weeks later, my grandma turned 75. Big party. 30 people. My Aunt Rosario flew in from Medellin. My Uncle Patricio brought his new wife. My little cousin Mateo, who is 6, had made my grandma a card that said Feliz cumpleaños abuela in big crooked letters. I waited until dessert. I stood up. I put my hand on my belly, which wasn't even showing yet. I said, before grandma blows out her candles, Theron and I have news. We're having a baby in October. I expected screaming, crying, my grandma throwing her napkin in the air like she did when Paloma got engaged. Instead, my mother stood up, walked around the table, slapped me, full palm, across my cheek, in front of everyone. She said, how could you be so stupid? My grandma started crying, not happy crying, keening. She was holding her chest. My Aunt Rosario stood up and tried to get her out of the room. My dad put his head in his hands. Paloma was frozen, staring at her plate. Theron stood up. He said, do not touch my wife again. His voice was shaking. I said, Mom, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with all of you? Nobody answered. Then Mateo, my little cousin, 6 years old, holding half a piece of cake, said in Spanish, loud enough for the room, ¿Es porque su mamá verdadera era tu prima, tía? Is it because her real mom was your cousin? Aunt? My Spanish is not great. I caught real mom and cousin. I looked at my Aunt Rosario, who had understood it completely. Her face had gone white. I said, what did he say? Nobody answered. I said louder, what did he say? My Aunt Rosario, bless her, translated, very slowly, watching my mother. I looked at my mom. I said, what is he talking about? My mom sat down. She put both hands flat on the table. She said, finally, your birth mother was my cousin, Esme. She was 15 when she had you. I said, okay, because I didn't see the problem yet. She said, and your birth father was her father. The room went sideways, literally tilted. My Aunt Rosario, who had started crying, said quietly, it's a genetic thing. It's called consanguinity. There are increased risks, birth defects, art, cognitive. They told your mother when you were a baby. She raised you anyway. We never told you because we wanted you to have a normal life. My mom said, I took you to every specialist. You turned out perfect. We thought we'd gotten lucky. But a baby of yours. The risk doubles, triples. Honey, I didn't want you to have to carry this. We were going to tell you when you were older. Then you never mentioned kids. I thought we were past it. I was holding on to the edge of the table. I said, so you slapped me. She said, I panicked. I'm so sorry. I panicked. Paloma, my sister, my biological to my parents' sister, was sobbing into her napkin. She said, I've known since I was 12. Mom told me because I caught her crying over your baby photos. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't know how to be normal around you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Theron drove me home in silence. I couldn't talk. I couldn't cry. I just sat there. My baby was born in October. Healthy. Perfect. She's 8 months old and she looks like Theron and she laughs at the ceiling fan. We did the genetic screening. She had none of the risk markers. None of them. The universe skipped her. My mom meets her on FaceTime. She hasn't held her yet. I'm not ready. My dad sent me a letter that was 12 pages long. I've read it once. I named the baby Esme for the girl who had me, who was a child herself, who didn't get a choice. My Mo.